2020 is Spencer Rattler's year. You gotta have mad confidence to follow Baker, Kyler, and Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma. But OU's next QB1 is used to the spotlight. He's faced the pressure of being ranked #1, won the Elite 11, and set a new record in his All-American game. Spencer has the 4th best odds to win the Heisman before even starting a college game. But when you see him make throws like this, you just want to believe in this kid.
Hold it down.
This is the story of Spencer Rattler. Spencer was born on September 28, 2000 to Mike and Susan Rattler. He was raised in Phoenix, Arizona with a younger sister, Olivia. Olivia was all in on volleyball, but growing up, Spencer was a 3-sport athlete. Even though he did his thing at baseball and basketball, right away you could tell he was going to be different at football. Rattler started playing at 7 years old, getting coached up by his pops.
My dad put me right into tackle football when I was in the 1st or 2nd grade. He asked me, you want to play flag or tackle? I just went straight to tackle. So I started when I was about 7 years old, and I've always played quarterback. That's how I got into it. My dad got me into it, and I've loved it since then.
From an early age, he rocked the number 7. When Spencer got close to 6th grade, he knew he had to be super dedicated to kill it in high school. He started training with Arizona QB guru Mike Giovando, and the two still work out together whenever Spencer's back home. Right before high school, the hype started to take off. This young kid from Phoenix could really sling it. In 2015, Spencer won the National Middle School QB Invitational. Rattler and his dad traveled to Florida, where he put on a show in front of the top QBs from all over the nation. When Spencer joined Pinnacle High School for summer workouts, he found out the starting QB was no longer on the team. Now, most high school quarterbacks don't play their first year, but he had a golden opportunity. Rattler stepped up to win the starting job, but his first high school game was rough. 3 picks, no touchdowns, a 56-10 L. Spencer got humbled in his first game, but QB1 used it as a lesson and never looked back. An up and down freshman year saw Pinnacle go 5-6, but Rattler would go for 2,500 yards and 21 TDs. A year later, he took his game to the next level, putting up 3,300 yards and 34 touchdowns. Pinnacle only went 6-6 though. Spencer was now considered a top 5 QB in the 2019 high school class, but he had a lot left to prove. Rattler still had 2 more years in off-season camps to show that he was the real deal. He wasn't satisfied with top 5. He wanted to be #1. Before he was a consensus top 5 QB in the country, legit college interest started rolling in during his freshman year. Spencer got his first verbal offer from UCLA. Not too long after that, his first official offer came from his hometown school, Arizona State. Before Rattler started his 2nd year of high school ball, he'd received offers from Kentucky, Memphis, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M. Spencer was actually the first kid Texas A&M offered in the 2019 class. Schools all over the nation realized this was the guy to recruit at quarterback. By January of 2017, he added offers from Arizona, Miami, Utah, Michigan State, and Colorado. By that summer, Rattler got even more from Alabama, Texas, Notre Dame, and Tennessee. Spencer could go anywhere in the country, but a coach on the rise was about to get promoted at Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley was an offensive genius and turned Baker Mayfield and the Sooners into a national powerhouse. Riley was a QB guru, so when Lincoln became OU's head coach in June 2017, he made Rattler a priority, bringing the family down to Norman just 10 days later.
Just him having that confidence in me and that belief in me at such a young age, we just clicked right when we met each other. So I just felt most comfortable with him, and once he became the head coach, I visited like a couple days after, and then it's all the story from there.
10 days after that, the kid from Phoenix made a commitment.
After high school, I'll be continuing my athletic and academic career at the University of Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner, New Wave 19, let's get it.
No one was more fired up than Lincoln Riley. Coach felt this kid had the potential to follow Baker, Kyler, and Jalen Hurts. Now, it's one thing for a college coach to be hype about landing arguably the top high school QB in the nation, It's another when you know your guy can do stuff that just about no one else can. Just check out some of these throws he can make. He'll do it in a game too. Rattler is so competitive and insanely confident. He's got the whole package. As Spencer geared up for his junior year, not only did he want to put up better numbers and win more games, but he wanted to prove Coach Riley was right to ride with him. Spencer went crazy his junior year. Nearly 4,200 yards and 49 touchdowns. On his 17th birthday, Spencer celebrated with his brothers by hanging 77 points on Desert Mountain. Rattler would go off for 11 touchdowns over the next 2 games. And the week after that, he had 4 scores in just the first quarter. Pinnacle won 9 games and went undefeated in their section. Spencer started the playoffs with a first-round win over Chavez 52-7. QB1 had a slight 4 touchdowns. The squad did get bounced the following week by powerhouse Chandler, but Rattler did all he could. Over 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. He wasn't able to get a ring in 2017, but he took his game to another level again. As Rattler got ready for 2018, he set a new goal, winning the Elite 11. This top high school camp puts the best QBs in the nation head to head. The past 2 winners were Tua and Justin Fields. You're legit if you win the Elite 11 MVP. Months later, Spencer beat out his peers to make the Elite 11, but that wasn't good enough. He wanted to be MVP. Spencer linked up in Dallas with the nation's best at the opening finals. He won the 7-on-7 championship and the Elite 11 MVP. The Oklahoma commit even got congratulated by Zeke. If it wasn't already clear, Spencer was the real deal. He proved it toe-to-toe against the best kids in his class. That next week, Rattler got his 5th star from 24/7 Sports. He was the #1 ranked QB in the nation. Spencer was hyped, but he didn't let it get to his head. Yeah, there was more work ahead.
I want to be the best ever. That's my goal. I want to get up there, be one of the best football players of all time. There's no reason to stop working now. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, so it's only up from here.
After a monster junior year and success at the Elite 11, Spencer was ready for his last year of high school ball. He still had mad goals from his freshman year he wanted to check off. By mid-September, Spencer broke Arizona's state record with over 11,000 career passing yards. Check. Did I mention he made history on his 18th birthday and homecoming? All eyes were on him, and all he did was break a state record and catch a TD too. Spencer finished with 5 scores and a blowout dub. Even at the highest level of Arizona high school ball, no one has more career passing TDs than Rattler's 116. On October 12th, Spencer led Pinnacle to an epic comeback. The Pioneers were down 19 in the 3rd against undefeated Liberty, but Rattler wasn't letting his team lose. Pinnacle pulled out the win 34-33, and Spencer called it the best comeback of his young career. Unfortunately, Rattler and Pinnacle couldn't pull off the state run they hoped for, but December of 2018 was a huge moment for Spencer. Signing day. He was officially an Oklahoma Sooner. Boomer! On Christmas, Rattler received an extra present when he was named National QB of the Year. Now there was just 1 game left before heading to Norman. With his senior season in the rearview mirror, Spencer got a break from Arizona, heading down to Texas for the All-American Bowl. This was another big dream of Spencer's, and another chance to shine against the best of his peers. In his last high school game ever, Rattler got to team up with a bunch of his future teammates at Oklahoma. He played as well as any quarterback that had come through the game. Rattler set an All-American record with 234 passing yards. He added 2 touchdowns, including this absolute dime to Ohio State wide receiver Garrett Wilson. Announcers were even comparing him to NFL superstars. A lot of Spencer's teammates went straight from the All-American game to Oklahoma. But he had another 6 months at home. He wanted to enjoy his final weeks as a high school kid and take his training to the next level for OU. Once he stepped on campus, it was going to be all business. We had to see what Spencer was up to before getting to Norman, so Overtime took a trip out to Phoenix. Spencer showed us how he was getting Aki at Elite U, putting on 15 pounds of muscle with trainers who work with the best college and pro athletes in the area. While OT was in town, we did an exclusive feature on Rattler. Spencer also hopped in his own overtime challenge and hit this ridiculous trick shot. That trip was crazy. It was great to see Spencer, but now it was time to get the show started. Next stop, Oklahoma. Spencer announced for college he was going back to his old number 7 and moved on to campus in June of 2019. That summer, his IG blew up. My guy had almost 150K on the gram by Oklahoma's season opener. Going into his first year, Spencer found out that Jalen Hurts was transferring in from Alabama. A lot of media tried to stir the pot, but Rattler knew he could compete with Jalen and learn a lot. Hurts would end up winning the starting job and finish second in the Heisman, so being a backup to Jalen was no joke. Rattler did get some game action as a freshman though. Running out in Norman for the first time was everything he ever dreamed of, and he made his college debut on September 7th. Following his big moment, Rattler got even more love on IG. He was sitting on nearly 200,000 followers by the end of September. A few months later, Oklahoma took down Texas to win the Big 12 championship and make the college football playoff. Spencer got a few snaps in and even completed a pass against LSU in the national semis. Oklahoma would lose to the eventual champs, but Rattler got a ton of experience in year 1. Jalen Hurts was off to the NFL. Spencer had a big quarterback battle ahead of him, but he was ready to take the opportunity. In fall camp, that's exactly what he did. Now that he's the starter, his moment is finally here. Like I said, 2020 is Spencer's year. What Spencer Rattler's done in just 19 years is ridiculous. But as he said himself,
None of that matters now. It's time to just go up from here.
there's more eyes and more pressure than ever before, playing on the biggest stage of his life, not to mention his 320,000 followers on the gram. Now is the most exciting time of his journey. Time to put on a show. Don't miss out on Spencer in Oklahoma. He could be the guy who gets the Sooners their first natty in over 20 years. It's gonna be a movie. Get your popcorn ready.
Yo, your boy's Aki. I've been trying to tell you. You trying to get Aki like me? I only wear overtime drip. That's why. That's why I'm Aki. And get Aki like me. Go click the link in the bio right now. You better cop out. Cop like 5 shirts. Because you need them all week. And check out these videos right here and subscribe. Stop playing with me.